What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV Daily Rewind. This is where we go back a week and give you all of your tech news stories from the past 7 days. There's actually 8 videos in this particular video, because there was so much tech news. I did 2 videos in one single day of tech news. That's a lot. That's a mouthful right there. And also, we have timestamps in this, so if you want to skip ahead, check the timestamps. I put the major stories. There's more news. You know, I have the timestamps, but there's like more stories within those timestamps, but I put the major stories for the timestamp, if that makes sense. So we had everything from the Galaxy Z Fold 3, like tons of stories on the Z Fold 3 and the possible Olympus camera that it'll be using, Apple's event that's coming up this week, actually, April 28th, I think it is. Samsung Galaxy Unpacked, they have an event that's coming up as well, which was totally unexpected. We go into detail on what they possibly could be talking about. The Galaxy Z Fold 3 S Pen, good news, bad news, and some much needed feature that has been missing on all of the Galaxy Z Folds, and so much more. So check out this week, and also new merch, guys. Check the link down below if you want to pick up a t-shirt. I'd appreciate it. If you do pick up a t-shirt, send me a picture of it and I'll post it on my video and on my social media. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Let's get into the tech news. First story of the day is about the Galaxy Z Fold 3. Now, this phone, the Galaxy Z Fold 3, should be coming out in the next, what are we in, April? Probably in the next about 4 months from now. And one of the big features of this phone is that there's supposedly going to be a camera underneath the display, and we keep getting more and more confirmation that it will not be there. And it looks like we're getting even kind of more confirmation if you read between the lines. This tweet comes from Tron. Tron says, something's missing in the Z Fold 3. It's missing, it's missing, it's missing. It's not there. And then if you go down a little bit below, there's a tweet also from Ice Universe replying to that, who, as we know, Ice Universe has a really good track record, saying camera. So the camera looked like it's missing, aka underneath the panel. So is that the end all be all, meaning that there's definitely not going to be a camera on top of the main display? No, but it's still, when more and more people are saying it, it's a good thing, especially people that have good track records. Last story of the day has to do with, again, the Galaxy Z Fold 3, the camera, but more so the Galaxy S22 camera, because it might not come out until the S22, and it's ridiculous and cool all at the same time. Let's jump into this. This is coming from Let's Go Digital. So read the headline there, guys. Samsung Galaxy S22 gets Olympus camera. Olympus is a camera and lens manufacturer for high-end DSLRs and cameras all throughout the years. They make great cameras. And it says Samsung starts cooperation with camera manufacturer Olympus. The Galaxy Z Fold 3 may already be the first Samsung phone with an Olympus camera. And when we look at some of these renders of what this potentially could look like, you obviously see that there's a huge main camera now on there that is supposed to be, listen to this, 200 megapixels. And obviously Olympus would be either the manufacturer of the lens itself or the processing behind the scenes for the camera lens when you take a photo. And we don't know exactly if it's going to be both or either or of those situations, but ultimately, if we do get this 200 megapixel camera, it's going to be gigantic on the back there. And again, these are just renders of what they potentially think it could look like on this S22 line of phones. And if it is on the S22 lines of phones, you probably are looking at it being on the Ultra version rather than all of them, just because they want the Ultra to be the best. But this is huge news if this comes to fruition, because there is a patent out there that Samsung's working on a processor called Olympus. Olympus the company, Olympus the processor, that all goes hand in hand. They wouldn't probably be able to get away with that unless they got some kind of okay or signed some kind of deal with Olympus. What do you got? Let's get into the tech news. We only have one story today. I can't believe how slow it was today. You would think that we're kind of getting in the midst of some devices coming out, and it's a pretty big story, but I don't know about if you guys even care about this, but I'll talk about it anyway. I like Apple products, so why not? Apple put out a release now talking about an event they have coming up, and they're going to call it this. They're going to call it Apple Event. Watch on April 20th, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard time. So that's basically 1 week from today, we're gonna have new Apple products, and Apple should be launching their spring-loaded special event is what it's called, and you'll be able to see potentially, and this is what we think they're gonna end up releasing, a new line of iPad Pros and iMac with Apple's own updated silicon and AirTags as well. AirTags are their little tags just like Samsung has where you can find things easier. Apple's look smaller though, which I thought Samsung would do something similar. Now at this point, Samsung's gonna have to make something smaller because Samsung's freaking big. And yeah, so if you're in that whole Apple ecosystem, this is gonna make you extremely, extremely happy. The iMacs, I should say, those are those computers that Apple makes with that has a computer and the monitor built all into one. That's going to have that M1 processor, but it should be more powerful than what you get with a Mac Mini and the MacBooks as well, just because it's going to be in this bigger physical system, so it should be able to produce better performance overall. I might actually upgrade to that one. I might sell my Mac Mini and upgrade to that. That way, it's all housed into one. My son's back. If you hear the door slam open, so I think I might upgrade to that one. But yeah, Apple's event, April 20th. What time was it? 10 a.m. Pacific, a week away from today. Oh my God, guys. Just as I released my video, you probably saw the Apple one. I'm just about to relax because I've done my videos for the day. I'm like, gonna ease up. I see a tweet from Samsung. Check this out. This is freaking crazy. Samsung has just tweeted this out. Welcome to a very special Unpacked. The most powerful Galaxy is coming April 28th, 2021. Watch Samsung Unpacked live on Samsung.com. And when we check out this video, that's basically what it says. It gets to the point where it says the most powerful Galaxy is coming. I don't even know what this is. What phone is this that's coming to us, guys? Is it the Galaxy Z Fold 3? What? It's not the S22 line. That just came out. It's not a Note. At least I don't think it is. Is it a tablet maybe? I don't think so, because the Galaxy tablets came out a few months back now at this point. What is it? This is crazy. I'm hoping, I know we don't need this Galaxy Z Fold 3, but I will flip if it's the Galaxy Z Fold 3, because I would love upgrading my phones, and to get that next line of phones would be freaking amazing. I can't imagine it's that. I've seen rumors it might be AMD, Samsung and AMD's partnership. That would potentially make this the most powerful Galaxy ever. What could this be? This is super exciting. April 28th is 15 days away. Wednesday, I think that's a Wednesday. Let me look at my calendar real quick. April 28th, come on baby, a little bit faster. Yeah, Wednesday, April 28th, Wednesday. What do you think it is? I think I really have no idea. I have no idea. I have no idea what this could be. I'm thinking it's not going to be a phone. I hope it's a phone because I use a phone more than a tablet. I mean, maybe it's a computer. Maybe it's their next laptop and it's made out of some kind of silicon that they're working with AMD or somebody else with. That I wouldn't be surprised if it's some kind of laptop, and it kind of looks like it the more I look at the video. It shows a cube. So I don't know. You let me know what you think this is. Is it a phone, a tablet, a computer? Something I'm not even mentioning. Let's get into the tech news. First story of the day is TCL announced a bunch of different phones. Some will be released in America, some were released only in Europe, and so on and so forth. So let's check those out. But at the end of this little bit about TCL, there's a crazy new phone that is a prototype that hopefully they will eventually release. Now check these out. The phones that are coming out of TCL 20 Pro 5G, TCL 20 SE, both of those phones, the 25G and the 20 SE, will be released in the United States. The other phones are going to be the TCL 20L Plus and the TCL 20L. Those will be released in Europe. But overall, these are kind of budget looking phones overall. You know, you're not going to get anything crazy in there in terms of specs. You're not going to get, you know, like a Snapdragon 888 or anything like that, or high refresh rate screens. They're going to be like last year's phone, just a little bumped up in terms of specs. So you're looking at phones that are probably going to be around that $500 or less price range. Some as low as like in the $200 price range. So very inexpensive budget phones. But ultimately, the phone that got me crazy excited check this out. This is again from TCL. It's going to be called the Fold and Roll, at least, you know, based off their preliminary ideas of this phone. And this is going to be a up to 10-inch tablet phone. So it's going to be a phablet, the true meaning of a phablet, meaning it'll be a phone, but when you want to really extend it out, it's going to be a tablet. This is crazy. Now again, this is just a prototype. This is not coming out probably at all this year. This is probably, maybe it'll come out next year or the year after, some other time, but an amazing technology that this is. It's truly what I would expect with a foldable phone, because I have my Z Fold 2, don't get me wrong, but it does not open into a 10-inch tablet. It's amazing. Really, really cool stuff. And the last story of the day, if you watched my late news video yesterday, was all about Samsung. They released a late tweet saying that they are welcoming in a very special Unpacked, the most powerful Galaxy, coming April 28th, and you can watch it on their website. I wasn't sure what it was going to be. My late speculation in the video seemed to be correct about it being not a phone, not a tablet, but ultimately a laptop, ultimately 3 laptops at that. Now these leaks are coming from Evan Blass. He released all this stuff, and I'll link his voice site down below, but it ultimately ends up being, the first one being the Galaxy Book Pro, which would be a traditional looking laptop akin to a MacBook, and it should have an Intel 11th gen CPU in it. Also a Galaxy Book Pro 360, which will be able to be used with a pen. It'll be able to basically turn 360 degrees, and you can also use touchscreen on there, and then that also will have an Intel 11th gen processor. And then the last one, which isn't pictured, would be a Galaxy Book Go, and that one would have a Snapdragon processor in there and be a little bit more mobile as well. So you're looking at, again, 3 laptops, and by the most powerful Galaxy ever, they're probably talking more so on the Intel side of the processors, not that Snapdragon, the Galaxy Book Go, not that one I would most likely expect. So yeah, the announcement of these will be April 28th. We don't have any pricing or any specific specs so much in them. So we'll have to wait and see for that, or if more information comes out, I will let you know. But yeah, a little bit of a letdown for me, I'll be honest with you. I'm more of a mobile guy, and I know laptops are mobile, but I'm really on the phone side / tablet, and I would have loved to see and heard about new phones coming out at this announcement, but it's not going to be that, unfortunately. Today's episode, we're going to talk about the Galaxy Tab S7 Lite. We're going to talk about the Galaxy Z Flip 2 and 3, and also the Galaxy Z Fold 3. So let's jump into the first story, which is going to be about the Galaxy Tab S7 Lite. Now, this tablet is going to be monstrous, and it's also going to be a mid-tier tablet, so don't get crazy. The design isn't that amazing. It's very basic, and we're going to take a first look at it. These have been coming out through EV Leaks, also known as Evan Blass. This is what it's going to look like. You'll have S Pen compatibility. The display on it itself will be somewhere between 12.4 and 12.6 inches. The processor inside will be a Snapdragon 750G. 4 or 6 gigabytes of RAM, 128 gigabytes of internal storage. It'll run Android 11 with One UI 3.1 on top of that. You'll be able to get it in Wi-Fi only or LTE and 5G as well if you want to pick up a cellular network version of it. It's going to have GPS, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, USB Type-C port, and a 7,000 milliamp battery, possibly even bigger, and 15-watt fast charging. I don't think I'll pick that one up, but if you do, let us know in the comments down below. Next up is about the Galaxy Z Flip 2 and Z Flip 3. If you remember, this is the phone that literally closes in half and allows you to make it a lot smaller in your pocket, but when you open it up, you'd have like a regular, kind of almost like flip phone, but it's a regular, you know, candy bar sized phone when it comes down to it. Well, that phone, the Z Flip 2, is not coming out. It was due to be released this year. Samsung has scrapped it, kinda. The Z Flip will be released this year, but it's gonna be called the Z Flip 3, and the reasons being are really because of the Galaxy Z Fold 3. They don't want there to be any confusion when, you know, you're looking at the Z line and you're like, oh, I can get a Z Flip 2 or a Z Fold 3. They're going to make it so that when you know, if you're in that market of buying either one of those devices, you know they're on the same level in terms of they're both new. There's not one that's drastically older than the other one, and that's really what's going on. It's not that the phone is not coming out this year, it's just they're kind of renaming it to the Z Flip 3. Last story of the day is about the Galaxy Z Fold 3, the phone I want the most this coming year in 2021. Z Flip 3 and Z Fold 3 should be out probably around August of this year, and we have good news, and bad news. Let's start off with the good news. So the good news is that we've been talking about the Galaxy Z Fold 3 having an S Pen, and it looks like it's going to. We're getting more confirmation that the Galaxy Z Fold 3 will have S Pen support. You can write on the screen, you can blah, 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 take notes, draw, color, whatever you want to do with an S Pen. That's part one of the good news. The other part of the good news is part 2 of 3, remember, is that the Galaxy Z Fold 3 will have dust and water resistance, meaning you drop it in water, it's going to be fine. And I don't know if it's going to be IP67 or 68. Really, the difference with that is how deep it can go in water. I think IP67 is 3 feet and IP68 is 6 feet for 30 minutes for both of those. That's really the big difference. But if you just dropped it in a tub of water and took it right out, it should be absolutely fine. This is great news. To have dust and water resistance, especially on the water side. You know, you're going to have, if you cause an accidental drop in some water or keep it underwater for a period of time, it should be absolutely fine. Also, even just recording underwater with your phone should also be a relatively okay thing to do as well. I don't know if I would personally still do that, especially with the phone being $2,000. I don't think I'd do that. Bad news, let's get into that. We talked about it having S Pen support and that it has dust and water resistance, and those go hand in hand with the bad news for the Z Fold 3. There was a rumor with the Z Fold 3 that you would be able to house the S Pen inside of the phone. But due to it having more dust and water resistance and also it having S Pen support, the pen, by using the S Pen on the display, they had to make the ultra thin glass thicker, and they didn't want to put an S Pen in to make the phone even larger than that, to make it real thick. So that's the reason why if you get an S Pen for your Galaxy Z Fold 3, you're going to have to house it outside of the phone. It'll probably have some kind of case thing again. I don't know if I have my case around here. Oh, I do. S21 Ultra has an S Pen case, and I assume the Z Fold 3 will have something similar, which makes me think that when we get our pre-order gifts for the Z Fold 3, one of the things you'll be able to choose would probably be an S Pen and also a case. The other thing that makes me think too as well is that since the Z Fold S21 Ultra doesn't have Bluetooth support in the S Pen, meaning that you can use it to take photos and stuff of yourself and to control your phone from a distance away with your S Pen, I would assume the Z Fold 3 probably won't have Bluetooth support in the S Pen as well. So that would be, I guess that'd be part 2 of bad news. I would guess. That's me just thinking, you know, along the lines of what's going on. But that's your news. Let's get into the tech news. First story of the day, guys. We have folding Galaxy Z Fold phones. We have Galaxy Z Flip phones. What don't we have that we need to have folding from Samsung? How about a tablet, a folding tablet? And it's coming out way sooner than you would probably even guess. Let's jump into this. It's coming from Gizmo China. I'll link the full story down below if you want to check out their website, which I would recommend that you do. And you can see from the headline, exclusive Samsung's Tri-Fold tablet could launch as the Galaxy Z Fold Tab in Q1 of 2022. That's right, Tri-Fold, meaning it would look something potentially like this. So, you know, it would fold, I guess, on each side. is what it sounds like, and that would create that tri-fold on here, whereas the Galaxy Z Fold is just, fold in half. Now, when we go into the paragraph of what they ended up writing, there's two main paragraphs to really take note of. It says the main highlight of the Galaxy Z Fold tab, apart from its tri-folding capability, will be support for the hybrid S Pen. This stylus will make its debut alongside the Galaxy Z Fold 3, which we'll talk about in a second. In a few months from now, unfortunately, we do not have any information about this Bluetooth-enabled stylus, except that it will be different from the older S Pens. Lastly, the forthcoming tri-fold tablet will also sport a better UTG ultra-thin glass than the current generation. This thickened reinforced glass will be introduced in the Galaxy Z Fold 3. So basically, the Z Fold 3 will be a test bed for Samsung's first folding tablet. There's a bunch of takeaways to go from there. So first of all, trifold. We already kind of saw what it potentially might look like. That would be a trifold. The other things to take from it are that ultra thin glass being thicker on this tablet. We're going to see that, and we've kind of known about that, at least what the rumors have been pointing at, with the Galaxy Z Fold 3. The thing I spoke about yesterday, where we spoke about the Galaxy Z Fold 3 having S Pen support, but it wouldn't physically house inside of the tablet. One of the things I mentioned as well, you can probably count that there would be no Bluetooth in there, so that you wouldn't be able to use the the clicker on the S Pen to be able to take photos and videos and control your tablet without physically touching the screen. It seems like I was wrong. From this information we're picking up is that the S Pen on the Galaxy Z Fold 3 will support Bluetooth, meaning you will be able to use it as a shutter button. You will be able to do those gestures in the air and control your tablet and do whatever else they end up adding as features to that. And this coming out quarter one 2022 is absolutely wild. The other thing to take from this that I've heard is that they might show this tablet off late summer. I mean, you wouldn't be able to buy it then, but you'll be able to physically see what they're going to do when they release it, meaning that when they launch the Galaxy Z Fold 3 and the Z Flip 3, that Galaxy Z Fold tablet, you would end up seeing exactly what it's going to look like. They'll show off some kind of demo of that to really get everyone's juices flowing. Let's get into the tech news. We have one single story today, and it is about Samsung's big announcement on April 28th. April 28th will be Samsung Galaxy Unpacked, but not the kind of Galaxy you're thinking of. It's not even a Galaxy. Not like the Galaxy phones. It's going to be their Galaxy books, meaning their Galaxy laptops. And we know some more information spec-wise about one of them, the Galaxy Book Go, which is going to have an ARM processor, meaning it's going to have a Snapdragon processor inside. So the other two laptops that they're going to announce that day will have Intel processors in there. The Galaxy Book Go, again, will have an ARM processor, meaning it'll have a Snapdragon inside, and we know some info about that, so let's take a closer look. So as you can see from this, first of all, here's the branding that we're going to get when you see that Galaxy Book Go 5G. No, nothing crazy. It looks exactly how you would expect that. But beyond that, if you want to know some more about the Galaxy Book Go overall, it's going to feature the fastest Qualcomm processor ever in a Galaxy Book, which, okay, I hope it does. It's the newest one as well, but it's going to have their newly designed 8CX Gen X processor, and that provides great power and performance. And when you compare that, you can see this little bar here showing off the performance of the Gen 1, the Gen X, and the i5. i5's in yellow. The Gen X, which is going to be in the new Galaxy Book, will outperform all of those processors. So it's pretty impressive when it comes down to it that it's going to have such a powerful processor in there. I mean, is it the most powerful processor, period? No, it's not. But it's powerful enough to probably get the job done with what most people are trying to do, and probably also give you amazing battery life. I would expect hopefully 15, 20 hours battery life, maybe more, maybe a little bit less, but overall should be in that range I would expect. It's going to run Windows 10 Home, have a 14-inch full HD resolution on there for the display. I'm not sure what the display is going to be. I'm assuming it's probably LCD. It'd be nice to be OLED, but I'd be a little surprised if it's an OLED. Again, the processor will be a Qualcomm 7C, 8CX, one of those, and then the storage inside and the RAM. So you'll either get the 4 gigabytes of RAM with 128 gigabytes of storage, or for 8 gigabytes of RAM with 256 gigabytes of storage. If I were you, 4 gigabytes of RAM, especially for Windows, really any operating system, is really not that much. So I would recommend, if you're gonna get this, get the 8 gigabyte one with the 256 gigabytes of storage. It just makes way more sense. So there you guys go. Let's get into the tech news. First story of the day, and the only story of the day, is about the Galaxy, potentially, Z Flip 3 and Galaxy Z Fold 3, and a new piece of hardware that will be used with these phones, specifically the build of the phones, to make it even more protected and potentially lighter at the same time. This information is coming from Let's Go Digital. They found a patent from Samsung that has been passed through USA and also Europe, and it's called Armor Frame. Now, Armor Frame, as you can see from the headline right here, is that Samsung is developing Armor Frame for the Galaxy Z Flip and Z Fold phones, most likely and hopefully for the Z Flip 3 and the Z Fold 3. And the trademark, while it's called Armor Frame, is an extra strong smartphone frame, probably for the foldable smartphone models. And they have a good little paragraph in here that kind of breaks down everything about it. And I actually, it all makes sense, and I'll tell you that in a second. But ultimately it says it's still unknown what material the Armor Frame is made of. It may be an extra robust frame that meets the military standard S10 810G standard, and therefore extra shock resistant. Another possibility is that Samsung opts for a kind of carbon or titanium. Although that is more expensive than aluminum, it is also a lot lighter and thinner. And we're going to talk about that. That's really what I want to talk about. At the same time, that would solve one of the major drawbacks of foldable smartphones. The Z Fold 2 in particular feels quite heavy in your hands over time. The problem can be remedied by applying a lighter and also stronger frame. And if you remember some of the rumors that have been coming out about the Galaxy Z Fold 3, and that's why I think this rumor of it being in the Galaxy Z Fold 3 is going to come true, is that the Galaxy Z Fold 3 is going to be lighter and potentially thinner as well, especially along this hinge part, meaning they have to do something different, you know? So it must be a different material. Therefore, that would make sense with this Armor Frame, giving it more protection, but also lighter and thinner overall body, which is going to be better for everybody that gets this phone. Because even though the phone's heavy, and I'll be honest, I get used to holding this phone already, in terms of like my hand doesn't get heavy when I use the phone at all. Not at all. But if you offered me a Galaxy Z Fold that was lighter and thinner, that's a big selling point for a lot of people. And I also, don't get me wrong, I'd be super happy about that overall. So that's looking like Armor Frame, if I had to put my money down, is probably, based off all the other rumors we've heard about the Z Fold 3, will be in that phone. If it's in that phone, it's probably gonna be in the Z Flip 3 as well. Remember, those phones are probably due to launch this year around August of 2021, 4 months away. What do you think? Is this something that is needed in the Galaxy Z Flip 3 and Z Fold 3, this thinner, lighter, more durable material along the edges of the phone and possibly the hinge as well? Let me know. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you down the road. Peace.